she loves being a mom, but she doesn't want that pretty well to be her only existence and things like that. And I thought that was really because we've all been through that, where we had, we've had kids, we've either had businesses or not. And, that when you're in it, it's so intense. But when you get to the other side, you look back and go, I know it's the pressure you put on yourself.
For me, I didn't have a business, but what came to my mind was I always tried to juggle going back to school, and I always fell on my face because I always put the kids first. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's not, but that's what I did. And it was once I became an empty nester and I moved out here that I went on to get my bachelor's degree.
I know. So is the thing that we never put ourselves first.
Right.
Until a certain time in our life, or,
I think if you put yourself first, as a young mom, I think there's a tremendous amount of guilt that goes with that, because it's like, how is it possible that you are allowed to decide that you want to be this entrepreneur, this person, and yet you have all these babies, right? I mean, I definitely lived that.
And I think you're taken as being selfish.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I mean, certainly for my generation, it wasn't really a thing that people did. So when people found out that, I had a, new baby and I had somebody coming into my house to look after my baby while I was working, they were like, what's your problem? Like, why are you doing that? And you feel terrible, but it
you feel judged.
Oh, totally judged. And it's like, it's like, why can't you have both? Why can't you just be successful and also be a mom and be successful at that and be a wife and be all of the things? Like, you can be all of the things, because
if you determine what success is.
Yeah.
Right. Like your own success.
Exactly.
What you determine success is. If it's a messy house, but I'm able to take my kids to school and run a business, I'm good. Right. Or it might be a clean house and I don't take my kids to school. Like, who knows what your idea is?
Yeah.
But I think you hit that, Tracy. It is what your definition of success is. I don't feel that every woman needs to be a mother, needs to own a business, needs to be working all the time. It is whatever your definition of success is. There are some very successful women who are stay-at-home moms, homeschool, do whatever. That is in their DNA. It is in their blood. It is who they are. And that is fantastic. And there are women that have homes, have children, run large corporations, have help. And that's fantastic too, because that's in their DNA. But it's whatever your definition of success is.
And I just want to add to that you need to define that success ahead of time. Because what happens is that you end up being and having all of these hats, and you're listening to all of the judgment out there, and you have not defined that success for yourself, and people start making you feel, or you start allowing yourself to feel bad about specific areas of your life. I should be more of this. I should be more of that. I should pay attention to this. I should have paid attention to that. And it's so important to define what that success looks like for you, so that when other people are judging you, you can say, no, that's not true for me. Right.
Especially with social media. So I'm feeling good about myself and I go scrolling and I go, she can do that. She can bake cookies and she can be the CEO. And then she's having what, her sixth kid? Wow. How did she do it all? Right. And now I feel like crap.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't have, luckily for me, I didn't have to worry about social media when I was going through all of that, because it didn't exist.
Yeah, me neither.
It was bad enough with the people I worked with and who I interacted with, and the judgment that would happen. But yeah, I mean, today it's even worse, because people do judge you on social media, because it's so easy to do, right? Like, you're not face to face with somebody. It's a lot harder to say something face to face than it is when you're just typing in a comment,
Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying you put the pressure on yourself because you're looking at the other people on social media and feel that that is true life, what some of it is, but some of it isn't. And you start to, wear away your confidence and exactly what you said earlier about setting that what's success, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And I think sometimes now we have a role reversal, meaning women are judged for being a stay-at-home mom instead of one that's going out to get a career, because you have all this freedom now. You can go have a career, you can have it all.
Yeah.
Well, if that's not the driving factor or force of what you, and if you have a partner in your life, want to have, then you are empowered not to have that. You're empowered to be a stay-at-home, do what you feel is right for you, your partner, if there is one, and your family.
Yeah.
And that's where I think people need to understand the freedom is. And Tracy, you said about make sure you write out what that success is. I think as a woman, we need to write out what we want our success to be. And if there is a partner in our life, to make sure we share that with them so that that person can support, understand, there's conversation around it, because you need to have that support.
Yeah. Also, sometimes we get so entrenched with the doing that we don't realize that we are experiencing success at the same time. Yeah. That we're already having that. We're already kind of experiencing that because we're like, well, I got to do more, right? I got to, you're constantly in that, like on the rat race that you don't recognize that you're actually there. And that's why it is important to share it with somebody else, because they can turn around and go, this is what you define as success. You're already there. You're already doing all of this. You're like, oh, wow. Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out, Yeah. Yeah. So good.
Yeah. That's a really good point. I think we do forget, again, because we go into that scroll mole or hole, or we always look at what's on the other side. The grass is always greener over there. Well, if you water your own grass, it'll be as green as the other grass. I mean, we can go on with those metaphors forever, but I think.
But they're true. Maybe that's why they're still around.
Yeah.
Pull out your own weeds. I don't know. I will screw up the metaphor. So
yeah.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.